I'm going to show you the framework. I'm going to show you exactly. Keep in mind, this isn't something that I got off of ChatGPT. What we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about real life tactics that we went through that I've been doing for 3 decades. So no matter where you're at in the sales process, if you want to be able to do it, here's the thing. Being a good salesman is not building a sales team. When you throw a little bit of compliance and a little bit of honesty in there, most people that you think are good salesmen, they melt. They're done. They can't survive being compliant. They can't survive being honest. It's just a fact. We're going to look at this like a master class. We're going to go ahead. We're going to work through it. We got to move to action this week. We're running out of time. Listen, the year's halfway over. And the reality is this. A lot of us haven't committed to our dreams. And I saw this because Hey guys, how you doing? My name's Joey Battista. I'm an active 9-figure entrepreneur. Listen, inside this video, I'm going to share with you the tips and tricks, the real life examples that I use growing and scaling companies today. Listen, I'm not an influencer. I'm an entrepreneur with a passion for sharing what I've learned over the last 3 decades. And it's a privilege for me to share it with you here today. Viciously involved in building a sales team for like the last 15 days. And the things that I hear people saying, it's no wonder that people aren't achieving their goals. As soon as it gets hard, the things I'm hearing the people saying on the other end of the phone, they're like, as soon as it gets hard, they want to quit and retreat. It's supposed to be hard. When you know it gets hard, you know you're on the right track. You know when it gets hard that the other people are going to lose. I love when it's hard because I know 90% of the people on the planet just quit as soon as they break the first sweat. Most people want to have these sales when you start asking them certain metrics. And what you're going to see, we're going to have metrics in there and standards and communication. And we're going to talk about creating a winning culture. A lot of people in sales organizations, they're just not getting it right. This is one of the big things I always talk about, okay? I always talk about this. It's a game of percentages. When you're running a razor-thin profit margin company and it's a $100 million company or a $200 million company, you can literally get destroyed really fast if the whole entire, because one, it's too big for you yourself to manage. So not only you, but your entire team has to be dialed in order for it to happen. Hey guys, if you found value in this video, share it with somebody in need. Listen, these videos are a series all brought together that can teach you the real life example. So if you liked it, follow the other video. So it's a game of percentages and how well you perform. It's a climb to get optimized. And then once you optimize, you scale. So you have to make sure you're optimized. So that's my thing is right now today is show you guys how to develop not only yourselves, but your team to optimize what's in front of you. Salesforce classy, right? So let's talk about it, right? Leads needed, revenue, average deal size, conversion rate. That's the formula. That's what you're looking for. So let's talk about it for a second and see exactly what it is. And, what's your revenue goal? Some of you right now can level up your team just by having a revenue goal. You're like, if I asked you what your revenue goal for this month was, a lot of you are just going to say more. I have teams of people in my companies that their only job is to make sure they get on a call every week and discuss and dissect all the metrics to hit that monthly revenue goal. Then go ahead and divide it by how many leads, what's your average deal size, right? How much are you going to need? How many clients are you going to need to get there? Just break it down. Then divide it up by teammates, right? If you're the only teammate, then you know what you need to do. You know how many workable days do you have for the month? How many workable days do you have? If you work 5 days a week, then at best you have 21 days, 22 days in the month to achieve your goals. So make sure that you're dividing that daily number down by what is taken, right? Remember something. What gets measured gets managed, and what gets managed improves. Little tongue twister there, right? I got like 6,000 of these, but it's true. It's like a little sayings that you can go in there and you can see when you're building a company or what you're doing that you can do. You're like, what gets measured? You're like, okay, so what's going on? Well, am I measuring it? See, that's step one as an entrepreneur, as a business. Are you measuring your sales? Are you measuring your marketing? Are you measuring your accounting? Are you measuring your retention? Retention of customers, retention of employees. When you have 2 employees, you're not thinking about retention. When you have 100, it becomes a matter of life or death and profitability, because with the high cost of training, you can't afford to train 70% of your workforce every year, or you won't be able to get any of your conversions everywhere else. So that's what I want you to do. I want you to go through these. I'm giving you the framework, but anywhere where you don't know the numbers, it's fine if you don't know it now. Well, it's not fine. This is a big mayday for you. You're like, you know what? And for those of you that are hitting these areas, what you need to do is you need to lean into it. You need to get closer to me. You need to sit in it. You need to listen to more calls like this. You know, you need to reach out to a member of my team and say, hey, how can this happen? Because the reality is most people want to go keep running their same plan. You're stepping over dollars to chase pennies. It's really important to understand this forecasting and to understand this cycle, because once you know the percentages, you can put all your focus where the most money is. Listen, you can't make every deal. You can't be everything to everybody. You can't do a $2,000 deal and a $200,000 deal. But you have to know, like, hey, well, maybe you can scale the $2,000 deal to your team. Maybe you can scale, maybe the $200,000 deal isn't as profitable because you have to give up your own time personally. Whatever the case may be. But the point is, once you know where your customers transact and what's needed, you now have a navigation and a blueprint. See, most people are just going in blind. It doesn't have to be that way. You have total control over this. I've been going over and training sales teams, managers, general managers, owners, you name it, for decades. Everybody wants to do big money stuff until it's time to do big money stuff. And everybody goes in there. We know one thing, that in every aspect of the business, every company sits at the feet of the sales master. I don't care where you're at in a company. If you're good culture, if you're a team player, and you're a revenue driver, you literally hold all the power in the company. So the thing is and write this down. You guys might have heard this: sales cures all. But once we fix sales, that's why we're not talking about sales because we're a one-trick pony and that's all we know. We're talking about sales because we want to go ahead. We want to get the machine moving. We want to get the highest value activity in there. And then we're going to go in there. If there was one thing in the business that I would say is a foot and everything else is inches, or it's one thing's 10% and everything else is 1%, sales holds the juggernaut. Well, sales and marketing hold the juggernaut on it, right? Because you need marketing to get to sales, but that's another conversation for another day. But that's where your focus of mastery should be first. Break down your sales pipeline by stages. That's really, really important. And it all depends on what you're doing. If it's brick and mortar, if you're meeting people in person, if you're meeting over the phone, if you're transacting on Zoom, break it down into pieces. Break it down by each stage so that you can go in. I'll give you an example. Somebody calls in, they want to set in a sales appointment. Well, maybe you have a stage where you qualify them and you line them up to see what it is. You identify the pain point. You identify where the transformation needs to occur. And then the next step is, then you go ahead and you present the solution. And you break it down so you can begin to see, not only do you do it for the customer, but you're the client, you're doing it so you can see where you need to practice and get better. Where do you need? Is it your follow-up? Maybe some people don't transact till they talk to you 7 times. You have to know these things. And when you break it down, that would be another question I would ask you. How many touch points does it take before somebody transacts with you? What's that number? See, once you know that number, then you can teach that number. That's how you go back to the culture of excellence. Because if people come in and you're setting standards and you're talking about that number and they hear that number, they don't personalize it. But I can tell you, all humans are resistors. So once you have this into your culture and broken into your culture, just built out in there, when new people come in, now you have a sales culture, you have a sales process, you have sales standards, and now you create a culture of winning, which is really, really a big deal, guys. Talking about culture building, we know what that is. Culture building isn't hot dogs and hamburgers, even though that's all really great. Culture is really and truly the number one thing. Your culture can be whatever you want it to be, okay? Your culture can be whatever you want it to be. Sometimes you can have too much of the culture, more specifically, too much of the wrong culture. I've seen companies have too much culture and go from being multi-million dollar, multiple 7 or 8 figure profitable net income companies to losing money because everything got built around culture. Now, here's one area where you'll never lose. creating a culture of excellence means we have standards around here. We make 100 phone calls. We do follow-up. We go ahead and we look at all the conversions. We have weekly meetings. We have daily huddles. We have individual performance metrics and scorecards for each individual team member. So we can identify the champions and celebrate them. If we see a new breakthrough, somebody accidentally did something right, and we can take that and transfer it throughout the whole team. Can you imagine what you do if you go into a company and all of a sudden you stumble upon something and the leadership, the leaders, the CEOs, the founders, the owners, whoever it is, department heads, general managers, somebody in a leadership role identifies you and actually takes something that you were doing and trains it to the rest of the organization. See, when you're paying attention, you know what converts and what doesn't. And I can say that's probably the biggest thing in all this is paying attention. Sales prediction framework, right? It's really, really a big deal, right? You have to be able to predict what exactly the framework, sales, exactly what it is. Like, what are you working on? What are you trying to do? How are you breaking it down? How do we handle inbound, outbound, phone up call scripts, inbound, outbound templates, checklist? How do we do this? How does all this work? It's a really big deal. So I want you to really think about that. Establish baseline metrics, right? Calculate pipeline velocity. Set activity-based goals. This is really important. Don't always go just to the KPI, right? The KPI being the end result that you want. Look at the activities and set goals around the activities to do what it is. Those of you that work with me, you know I use a 13-week trend board, and I'm always rolling 13 weeks out. So I'm able to identify trends. That's the name of the game. How do I identify those trends? If I go in and I've been doing 10 on average for the last 13 weeks, and all of a sudden I have a week where I do 1 or a week where I do 20, I can then look at the previous weeks individually. Has it been inclining, or is this an anomaly? Then I notice when it repeats, I may have totally different, something happened. What's going on? What did we do? Number went up really good. What did we do? Oh, we tried this new marketing. Oh, we changed this sales process. Okay, great. We're on it. Now we can duplicate successful actions. See, there's a navigation on the business that says like, hey, we're getting ready to go. We're getting ready to be at our flight's almost there to our vacation. Or, hey, look, we're getting ready to run off a cliff. Either which way, we're engaged. Business is a sport. Some days you're going to get your teeth kicked in. Other days you're going to win. But what's important is that you have the right tools. And these are the tools. Just as much, I want you to think about something. These are the tools for business. See, and the reason why I love teaching this is myself, right, or a lot of entrepreneurs, it's kind of like I would say, it's like, just whatever the flavor of the day, week, or month is when you're first starting out. And you're just running by the seat of your pants. You're waking up every day. The universe is assigning things to you, every single thing. You don't actually have control. See, when you go ahead and you establish baseline metrics and you calculate pipeline velocity and you set activity-based goals and you use rolling forecast and you visualize and review trends, right? And I put this in here in this order and I'm repeating it to make sure it gets hit home. And the thing is though, what's that do for your team? This is how you build champions, right? So driving forecasting across your team. Train the team on forecasting fundamentals. Incentivize not just results, but the process. Okay, here, let me share something with you real quick, since this is it. I want to talk about forecasting with you. You have a goal, you have a stretch goal, and you have beyond. Okay, it's the same way. The proper way to forecast is you have the forecast. A forecast is the number that you set and all your budgets in your business by. Meaning, if I'm going to do 100,000, and I'm going to do 10 million, and that's going to require 25 employees. That's going to require a $500,000 advertising budget on an annualized basis, right? And we break it down monthly, right? You're doing a forecast monthly, annually, quarterly, however you want, but normally monthly forecasts are good for department heads because you're resetting the team. Remember, so here's the thing. You're resetting the team every month so that when you come in, the team actually knows what the target is, and then you're going in, you're coaching and or providing the tools and resources that they need in order to be able to do it. Now, people come in and they always throw out these big numbers. Like a lot of you, and I love ambitious numbers. I talk to you and you're like, I'm going to do 4 million. I'm like, what'd you do last year? 1.5. Okay, good. I like it. I'll swing for a big number. Now, we're not going to budget. Here's a big thing. I want you to take note of this. This is very important. I don't want you to budget. Let's say you did $1.5 million last year and you want to go to 4 million. I want you to forecast for what you think you can do. Meaning, if you go in there, if your business was broken, you can do a forecast of bigger. Or your department is broken, like you had a management change, or you just added marketing. The numbers can, when something is not done wrong, you can do a massive lift in your forecast and achieve it. But usually how you achieve these bigger numbers, I would say 80% of the time, right? This is the riddle. So just try to pay attention to this because I'm giving you really good game. Some of you, it's going to go right over your head. Some of you don't care. But I'm giving you the game. I'm giving it to you here first now. Maybe in 3, 5, or 10 years, you'll be able to do it. You'll understand it. Some of you, it'll help land right on you right now. It'll help you, and it'll help you out tremendously. You would say, okay, I'm going to forecast for 2 million. And this is what you do. You pick it up in operational efficiency. And what is operational efficiency? That's optimizing your sales, your marketing, any supply chain logistics, any inventory, your finances. How are you operating and managing your cash in your business? Are you paying late fees? Are you paying, higher finance bills faster and slower and your lowest interest rate sooner? Like, do you have a plan to it? You pick it up, so you forecast it, so you set your budgets off 2 million, your advertising budget, your employee headcount. But if you go ahead and you create operational excellence and you build it out throughout your whole entire team and you get to 4 million, guess what? You just made a lot of money. A lot of money. Because you didn't have all the extra waste. You earned it. Or you can do it the way that most people do it. And what happens is they're not paying attention and they hit the 4 million the next year only to find out they made less money. That's the key thing. So, and how you ask yourself, what's the solution? Well, the solution is to build an operating system within your business. This will completely revolutionize your business. It'll arm you as an entrepreneur or a department head or whatever the case may be, but it'll also give you the tools. Keep in mind, these are tools in business. It will give you the tools that you need to create the transformation within your sales processes, within your leaders, within your companies. So remember, forecast for what's expected. When you hit the goal, that forecast and goal to me is the same. Then you got stretch and beyond. Then you got a stretch goal. Like we want to do 500,000 this month, right? That's our forecast. Like we're expecting to do 400,000. And, our goal would be to do 6. And the stretch goal is 7. Like if we do 7, everybody's going out for steak dinners. So it's forecast, stretch, beyond. And you coach on all 3. When you have a sales team and you're talking about it like, hey guys, come on, man, look, I think we're going to hit the stretch goal. I think we're going to hit the stretch goal, guys. Like we can really do it. And the thing is if you as leaders, we have to teach people how to win. Most people like punching them in the face. They're worried about rent, business payments, car payments, child support payments, soccer payments, vacation, school tuition, business loans coming up due. It's really, really a big deal. So you have to introduce winning, especially if you go through a season of getting your teeth kicked in, and everybody should go through that season as well. Most people try to solve problems for convenience, for lifestyle, and for their own preferences. I solve for greatness. God gave me that gift to solve for greatness, and I'm going to tell you something. It's been hard as hell sometimes because it doesn't come right away. It's not easy. You got to sweat for it. You do. But when you do it and it happens and you're at the finish line, you're simply built of something other people are not. Either which way, guys, crush this week. Take this stuff serious. I'll see you. Bye. Hey guys, if you found value in the video today and you'd like to see more of them, like, subscribe, or share now. Hey guys, if you found value in the video today and you'd like to see more of them, like, subscribe, or share now.